Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Smoke Sesh. I'm so excited to be back with you guys, hanging out, chit-chatting, our usual, but this time face-to-face, which is so fun. I've been having a blast recording, editing, uploading. Thank you to everybody who watched the last video episode. I was not expecting that many of you guys to hop on YouTube, hop up on Spotify and watch it, but I'm really thankful for you all for showing up and hanging out with me every Tuesday, and I'm so excited to see where this podcast takes us and to show you all the fun things I have in store. I didn't realize video editing would be so hard, but it's a new fun thing I'm trying to figure out. So I'm really hoping to have like a bunch of YouTube videos, podcast videos up for you guys soon. Once again, I'm trying to de-rot my brain and what TikTok has done to it and my very, very short goldfish attention span. Really trying to fix that. And I feel like the best way to fix that is to just make my own long form content, because what's better than that, if I'm being honest? Anyways, today's a very comfy, cozy day. Really won't be doing much considering winter decided to start last night for some reason. We're 2 months in, girl, I have been ready, but for some reason it decided to snow 12 inches last night, and it is gorgeous, beautiful. Everything's kind of shut down. I doubt anybody's really at work today. Dangerous. They made me come into work last night and I was like, girl, there is a winter weather advisory going on right now. Why are you making me work right now? Also, who is going out to eat right now? And you're insane. Why are you leaving your house willingly during a blizzard to go eat food? Go to the grocery store, buy groceries, because you're going to be inside your house for the next 3 days and you won't be able to leave. Those people would not survive an apocalypse, if I'm being honest. They would not last a minute. Anyways, enough complaining. It is beautiful and gorgeous out. We have so much snow, cute little icicles hanging off my balcony. I'm looking at it right now. And yeah, it's just a great energy today. Very much so. Chill, snow day. Let's cuddle up, watch a movie, hang out, just do all your favorite things. I love a snow day. Anyways, we're back. Another episode. Don't we love the hot pink rhinestone microphone? For viewers or listeners at home, maybe not viewing, it looks like I'm holding a giant vibrator in my hand. If I'm being honest, this microphone, I got like a pink cover and then pink rhinestones. It looks like my vibrator, if I'm being honest. Looks like I'm talking into a giant vibrator. So sorry about that. I had it sitting out the other day when my friends came over. And they were like, girl, put that away. I was like, no, that's literally my microphone. I promise. This is not a euphemism. Like, it's literally my microphone. Anyways, isn't she gorgeous? I love that last episode. I was like, I want a pink. Boom. Here we are. Hot pink. Adorable. Anyways, I haven't really been up to much other than like working, doing this, trying to put out more content for you guys, getting my place back in order and organizing my life a little bit with this New Year's. This Capricorn moon coming up. We have a Capricorn new moon on Thursday. So if you feel like you've been like in go mode, like let's get shit done, as a fellow Capricorn moon, lean into that energy. The more you lean into that energy, the better your results will be, especially with this week coming up. Feed into that energy, okay? Allow yourself to work hard. The payoff will be so worth it, especially after Thursday's Capricorn new moon. I will be talking more about that on the Patreon, so if you are interested, follow me there. I believe it's at Hannah Marlene. My YouTube is also at Hannah Marlene. If you guys didn't know where to find me, I'm gonna hopefully put the links in the bio of this video, so stay tuned. Anyways, yeah, haven't been up to much, just organizing my life, working hard. Oh, and I got a new tattoo on Sunday. What day is it? Tuesday? 2 days ago. Love. I didn't realize I haven't had a tattoo since 2019, 2020. It's been a long time. I didn't realize until she was like, how do you take care of your tattoos? And I was like, I don't. And then she had a really scared face on her face. She was a little nervous for me. But yeah, I haven't had one in a while, and I've been thinking about getting a new one for like years. So I'm glad that my friend texted me and was like, hey girl, let's go get some. I want one. And I was like, yeah, why the fuck not? Who am I to say no? Who am I to say no? I know I've wanted one for years now. They don't hurt as much as you think they do. It took 5 minutes. It looks fantastic. Basically healed. We're 2 days in. She's doing great. And yeah, overall 10 out of 10 experience. The artist was fantastic. Had a great time with my girls hanging out in the tattoo shop. We went and got sushi after. Then I came home, ate an edible, went to bed. Fantastic Sunday. Ideal Sunday, if I'm being honest. Anyways, that's enough to catch you guys up on. I know why you're here. I know you want to dive into all your deepest, darkest secrets and questions. I know you have so much on your mind. This episode, I am going to try and include the call-ins as well. I didn't include those last week because I couldn't figure out how to do it. Listen, learning curve. I'm still figuring out how to do all this. But this week I am going to try and include those, which is exciting. Anyways, let's jump right in. Someone said first week back at school. Yeah, I think the people in my area were supposed to go back to school today. And then with the snow, it got called off. So I'm sure they are living their best lives right now. But the back to school transition is hard, especially after winter break, where you're like, what do you mean I have to finish the school year? It feels like I've already done a full year. What do you mean I have to finish it? But the second semester is always the easiest. It goes by the fastest. You have a bunch of breaks. Because the first semester you only have like Thanksgiving break, maybe like a couple Monday holidays. But the second semester, there's so many Monday holidays. So you get a bunch of long weekends, and then you'll get like a spring break, which will be a very fun long week break off. You know what I'm saying? I think the second semester is way easier. I feel like second semester teachers, professors, whoever they are way easier to deal with and a little bit more understanding than first semester teachers and professors. So I just say look back at the last semester and ask yourself like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do wrong? What behaviors, what do I need to change? What can I include to better this next semester? And then try and stick to it as much as you can within the first couple weeks. I feel like those first couple weeks kind of make or break how the rest of your semester is going to go. So, stay on track. Try and challenge yourself. Read the required reading. Do your assignments. Okay, study for your exams. If you practice that now, as hard as it is, it will make the rest of the semester so much easier. Instead of having to play catch up later on, just get on board right now, girl. Okay, just start working hard now. But yeah, second semester is always the easiest semester. So look forward to that. And then it's summer. Oh my God. Then it's summer break. I cannot wait. Especially looking at all the snow. I miss summer and spring so much. So much. I need to live somewhere that it's 70 degrees and sunny all the time. Although I think it might make me a little weak. I think winter makes me a stronger person, if I'm being honest. Anyways, I'm 22 on Wednesday. Thoughts on embodying Capricorn season? Oh, to my fellow Capricorns out there. Oh, I'm not a fellow Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn moon. So I do feel you guys very much so, especially when I'm sitting alone at home thinking, what the fuck do I need to be doing right now? What do I need to be working on? How am I going to make money? Blah, 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 blah. That's literally a Capricorn brain. It's like, what the fuck do I need to do in order to elevate myself to the next level? And I feel like that's why Capricorn season is perfect for post, New Year's Eve energy. New Year's energy is very much so like a go-getting season. What do you want? What do you want to embody? Who do you want to be? What do you want to bring into your life? Go after it. The only person who's going to change your life is you. The only person who's going to actually like make a difference in your life is you. The only person who's going to get up and do those things that you want to happen is you. So, moral of the story, get shit done. Stay hardworking. Embody those Capricorn characteristics. Be hard-headed a little bit, but not so hard-headed that you remove yourself from the world, okay? You got to be hard-headed in the aspect of like, I know what I want and I deserve, and I'm really not going to accept less. Not a I hate everybody and everybody around me and myself kind of way, because I feel like that's the downfall of a Capricorn. So this is my Kapali incense. It's like my favorite. It's the best smell in the world. We're going to set some vibes and energy for this podcast. If you need a little vibe cleanse, here it is, my girls. Love you. I also rolled a little joint. I feel like that'll be fun to smoke on here. You guys were like, she's not smoking correctly on the last one. Girl, I'm here smoking a joint to myself. Do not judge me. At my own smoke sesh, you're judging me. Let me enjoy my joint in peace. I got my sparkling orange LaCroix, my water. We are set for a good experience. I guess speaking of birthdays, someone said tips for turning 21 and surviving bars/clubs. Have good friends with you. I feel like good friends being with you. Don't go alone. First of all, don't go alone. Don't go alone anywhere, please, especially not to a bar or a club. I mean, I have, but also like make sure you have someone there to keep you safe. That's the most important thing. Or have somebody that you can go back to and hang out with if plans go awry, you know what I mean? But yeah, make sure you have a good group of friends, girlfriends, who when you go out with, you know you're gonna have a good time and that you know they're gonna prioritize your safety. I hate a girl who loves to go out and party and then like will ditch you for a weird ass dude. That shit is the most infuriating thing ever. Like, you're putting both of us in danger at this point. You got to make sure your friends are prioritizing not only your safety, but their safety as well. If you're going to a club, make sure you have a good pair of like club heels that you can wear and not have your toes fall off in. And if you're going to bars, make sure you have a good pair of tennis shoes that you can literally ruin and you will never wear again, because trust me, as soon as you step foot in that bar with those tennis shoes on, you will not want to wear them anywhere else. They're going to get destroyed, and that's just a part of the bar club experience, unfortunately. I've seen many a girls lose their wallets, phone, keys, blah blah blah, whatever it may be, because they're drunk and you know their bag slips off their shoulder or they lose their tiny little wallet. I think having a bar like bag or wallet or anything of the sort is very important. Something that you can keep, it's gonna like stay on your body. It's not gonna want to fall off your shoulder, or it's not going to disappear off your body in some sort of way. I love like my little Louis Vuitton backpack, my little backpack, perfect little outing bag, because it's over both shoulders. Like, that shit ain't coming off my body. And make sure you're taking out like minimal things. Not a lot of cash, because you're going to spend all that cash. Girl math is cash is not real. Cash is not real money. So I'm just going to spend as much as I can. A little bit of cash if you have it, like a debit card, a ID, a lip gloss. That's all you need. Don't bring anything important out with you, because you're probably going to lose it. Don't wear that like really fancy designer shirt that you've been dying to wear to the bar or the club. Please wear it to like a nice restaurant. Because it's going to get destroyed. I promise you. Stay safe, have fun, make good friends, don't lose your shit. Yeah, period. Also, Drinkwise. Every time someone orders a lemon drop shot from me or a lemon drop martini from me as a bartender, I get enraged. I'm tired of the lemon drops. I'm canceling lemon drops, dare I say. Because I know the girls love a lemon drop. But please, order like 2 ingredient cocktails. That's what you want. 2 ingredient cocktails that don't need to be shaken. Ideally, vodka soda, tequila soda. That is your best bet, if I'm being honest. If you don't want to be super hungover in the morning and you want something pretty easy but not too easy to sip on, you need a 2 ingredient cocktail, and you need it to be like something with soda water, because water, okay, you're dehydrated, your brain is dying, you need water in your system. Soda water, and your preference of alcohol. Maybe like a Diet Coke and rum. Maybe a whiskey Diet Coke. Maybe a vodka Sprite. Maybe a cranberry vodka. I don't care. 2 ingredients, simple, easy. If you're ordering a shot, you can ask them to shake it, to chill it. Whatever alcohol you're ordering, like a tequila shot, you can be like, can you chill it for me? Way easier to get down than lukewarm fucking room temperature tequila. Talk about throwing up. That's going to be a horrible experience. You can ask them to shake it, or if you're going to order a shot, order for something simple. Green tea shot, Capri Sun shot, something with maybe 3 ingredients or less. Keep it simple. The bartenders will love you. Tip your bartenders well. If you want to make sure you're taken care of, or you're going to get that shot for free, or you're going to, they're going to prioritize you when you come up to the bar, tip them well. Ideally, the first time you walk up to the bar, tip them like 50%. Like higher than usual, because they will remember you. They will recognize, and they'll be like, this girl's taking care of me. I want to take care of her. Fuck all these other people. As soon as she walks up, I'm going to make sure that she has a drink in hand, what she wants. Pro tip. Anyways, someone said, talk about sugar daddies. I am my own sugar daddy, and that is exactly how it should be. Please do not rely on a man for anything. Once again, Capricorn season, make your own money, get your own fucking job, buy your own place. That's how you get ahead in this world. Not relying on a man to buy it for you. Please, please, I'm begging you girls. Please learn this. Please. You gotta work for what you need. You gotta get it yourself. Go after it. Please do not rely on a man to buy things for you. You're gonna be lost in life. That's when you see those women who are like wives for a living with 9 kids getting a divorce, and they're like, holy shit, now I don't have a home, I don't have any money saved, and I have 9 fucking kids. What the fuck am I gonna do? A mess. Please do not find yourself in a mess. Someone said, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Someone said, just got diagnosed with autism, and it explains so much. That was me when I got diagnosed with my personality disorder. I was like, oh, I'm not just a Gemini? You're telling me this isn't a Gemini tendency? I actually have a personality disorder? Things are adding up. Things are making sense here. Literally, the snow outside is crazy right now. Someone said, how to deal with feeling lonely even when you're not. Go to bed early, or have a book on your side table. So if you're ever feeling lonely, you're not like scrolling on TikTok trying to live someone else's life vicariously, or like getting jealous of it, or seeing your friends are out and about and getting some FOMO. Like, dive into someone else's story that's not real. Jump into a book, or go to bed early so you're not up and your brain isn't wandering. That is the best advice I can possibly give. Someone said, any tips for someone trying to finish school who is so close to being done? Stick it out, finish school, please. I regret not finishing school every single day. I regret not finishing school in a general sense, but I do think the major that I went into was wrong, so I don't regret leaving that major, if that makes any sort of sense. Like, if I graduated with a nursing degree, what the fuck would I do with that? Because I don't want to be a nurse. I wish I would have just graduated with like a very generic bachelor's degree, and I didn't finish art school because COVID was happening and I was paying for college out of pocket, and I just did not think it made sense to pay for online art school, especially when, the resources and why art school is so expensive. Because of the resources I just simply didn't have access to. I felt like it wasn't worth my money, so yeah. But I think about going back to school every single day. So I say, if you're close, even like if you're not even close, girl, stick it out. Change majors if you have to, change schools if you have to, whatever it is, but it's worth it. I guarantee. Even if you're like, I don't think I'm going to use my major, whatever it is, you at least have that show for having college experience. Most of the time people won't get jobs that their major is related to, but simply having that major or having that bachelor's degree is going to simply help you get a job no matter what. period. I regret not finishing. I probably will go back to school at some point and finish. So if you're already there and you're already going through it, you might as well keep going and get it done with. It's like ripping a Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? Someone said, do you believe in calculated risks? I do, because I think with every risk you take, the universe is going to give back to you for simply playing the game of life. I talk about playing the game of life all the time. You got to be an active participant in life, or else you're going to be left behind in a sort of sense. Thinking about the whole graduating, receiving your bachelor's degree, you gotta play the game of life. Like, unfortunately, we're born in a society, and we have to do things around that society. Sometimes it sucks, I get that, but you gotta play the game of life, and a part of the game of life is taking risks, okay, and putting yourself out there and trying new things, and simply learning from them if they go wrong, or receiving the benefits if they go right. Most of the time they do go right if you take a risk. The universe has a funny way of always rewarding risk in some sort of way, whether it's a learning lesson such as I tried it and I didn't like it, or a lesson such as let's do this again. And I mean, this podcast was a calculated risk. I enjoyed posting on social media, but did I think anybody was going to listen to this? Not really. Here we are with millions of you guys listening, which is fucking crazy. But this wouldn't have happened if I didn't take a risk and simply try. So yes, I do believe in calculated risk. I do think it works out most of the time, and I encourage you guys to try new things and learn from them.
Hi, Hannah and hotties of the world. I just wanted to call in since this was talked about previously on the pod. I wanted to let you know that I took one for the team. I took one for the Smoke Sesh Nation, and I went and I got my first Brazilian wax. And
oh my God.
It was kind of amazing. It literally took 10 minutes. Didn't hurt that bad. Wasn't awkward at all. The salon I was in was playing SZA, and it was great. And I actually booked another appointment. So if you've been debating getting a Brazilian, you must do it. It is 100% worth it, girlies. The smoothness, I can damn near feel the wind blowing through there, okay? So if you've been thinking about it, just do it. Love you.
Okay, love that. I have a lot of questions. I don't have a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions before that. Glad you had a great experience. Might be booking mine this afternoon. Damn near felt the wind blow. That killed me. Oh my God. Someone said best makeup tips. Find makeup that works for your skin. If you have dry skin, use like cream-based products. If you have oily skin, use powder-based products. As a fellow acne girly, I really had to make sure that the products that I was using weren't going to break me out, so then I wasn't having to put on more makeup. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job finding things that work well with my skin. One of my favorites being the Glossier Skin Tint. If you're the kind of girl who likes to wear makeup but doesn't like the feeling of makeup, like I literally want to peel my face off when I wear too much foundation, skin tint, BB cream, CC cream, something very light, simple, that's going to be your best friend. But find something that works with you, and it is going to take a lot of trial and error. Don't listen to whatever people are like, this is the best product right now, like TikTok viral. Don't listen to that bullshit. Actually look up the ingredients, see what's going to work best for you, and follow that. Best thing you can really do for your skin is simply understanding your skin type and making choices that will enhance or help that skin type. For me, I have like combo oily, so I really have to make sure the products that I'm using, whether it's face wash, whether it is makeup, whether it is like exfoliants, creams, moisturizers, that it's going to work with that certain type of skin type. And I understand the things that I use are not always going to be the best things for other people, because we all got different skin. You guys, dry January is going pretty good. It's the 9th. We have how many more days? Like 20 something. And yeah, it's going pretty good. I am very excited to try this new, it just came in the mail last night, and I might make a little cocktail after this, make a little video, a little cocktail with me, except for not drinking. It's THC infused. I want to call it alcohol, but it's not because there's no alcohol in it. It's like a spirit, I guess, maybe I would consider it. But there's like 6 milligrams per 1.5 fluid ounces. And usually in a cocktail, it's 2 ounces of whatever liquid you're using. So per drink, it's like 8 milligrams of THC. And girl, I'm gonna have a couple of drinks, hang out. It's gonna be good. I'm very excited to try that. So if you're also doing dry January and are interested, it's called Nowadays. Just look up Nowadays infused cocktails. I'll also tag them on my Instagram story later today. So enjoy, try it with me. I'm so excited to see how that turns out. Someone said, how do I deal with rejection without myself? LOL. Love you. Yeah, feel that. Rejection's hard. It's a hard emotion to come to terms with because when you are living within the ego, rejection feels like you just got stabbed. It feels like, oh, why don't you love me? It makes you feel like a undesirable, unloved child a little bit. And that's why we have to work on lowering our ego a little bit, because rejection is redirection. It is not a personal attack at you. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It doesn't mean, you are unlovable. It doesn't mean that you are inherently like bad or something bad about you is why you got rejected. None of that is true. That is simply your ego taking offense. Usually it just means that was not the right path for you. That wasn't the right person for you. And the universe knew you didn't know that, so it had to step in and take control of the wheel. Okay? So thank her for not putting you into the unknown of what could have been a really bad situation, and you just simply didn't know about it. And accept where you are, accept fate, and then since it is a redirection, you can't keep forcing your way down a closed path. You have to take that new path, and you really have to learn to make the best with the new path and maybe redirect your dreams a little bit. It does suck because in our heads we have a way of like creating this new reality and dreaming it up of like what could be, and then all of a sudden it's ripped away from us. So like make peace with your unlived life, but also you're currently living life and this is your new path. So the best thing you can really honestly ever do for yourself is make the best of that new direction, and understand that what didn't happen simply wasn't meant for you, and something that is meant for you is coming up along the way, I promise. I feel this. Everyone has been so tired lately, like sleepy. Is it the stars or the winter solstice? Question mark, question mark. I think it's just the winter energy. Like if you think about it, this is the time where the trees take a break. They go into sleep mode. The animals take a break. They are in their hibernation, and I feel like it's just within human nature to kind of retreat into ourselves and evaluate and step more into our self-care and our indulgence in sleep. And we're a little tired from all the hecticness that summer and spring brought us, and that's okay. So take this time to like rest and recharge. It's okay if you're feeling a little tired, a little exhausted. You deserve to have a break, to sleep in a little bit. And also with all the New Year's energy going on right now, all that Capricorn moon energy in the air, people are really in their go-getter, trying to achieve all their goals all at once, and it can exhaust you. So you have to remember at this time to not only prioritize achieving your goals and achieving all those little things on your to-do list, of course, but also setting time aside to take care of yourself and making sure that you are taking care of your body and your mind, because if you're not taking care of those things, you won't be able to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. You got to start at a base level, make sure your body and your mind are taken care of, so then you can go out and achieve your dreams. I guess speaking of tattoos, someone said tips to getting tattoos, making sure you won't regret your tattoo placements, any advice. I recommend getting a bad one first. I don't know if I've talked about this, but when I was younger, when Amazon first became a thing, the first thing that I really ever purchased on Amazon with like my actual money from working at like 16 was a tattoo gun. tattoo machines and guns should not be sold to anyone under the age of 20, if I'm being honest. Because now, since my party trick when I was younger was, oh, I have a tattoo machine in my trunk, not only do I have a bunch of really bad tattoos, and thank God they are so small and they're like on my feet, but a lot of other people have really bad tattoos too. And listen, we all make mistakes. We all, go through things like that. I'm so sorry to anybody I have given a bad tattoo to, but also, why the hell did you trust me at 16 years old to give you a tattoo with a machine that I pulled out of the trunk of my car and did in your living room? We all make mistakes. Everybody has those days, But yeah, I think the best way to really never regret a tattoo that you actually think about and put on your body later on in the future is to have some bad ones that you simply did not think about. So I have a few of those. So after I actually got real ones that I'd thought about for a while, the one on the back of my neck I thought about for like 3 years before I got it, simply because I got it as soon as I turned 18. It's like an eye. It's so cute. And then the one on my arm I thought about for a couple years before I got it. And then the one on this arm I thought about for a couple years before I got it. So I think it's safe to say if you have an idea in mind and it's something that's stuck with you through a couple years or even a year as you've changed and you still like it, you'll like it once it's put on your body. Next is finding a good artist. I love my leaves because the artist was so talented and put a ton of time into it and a ton of effort. And of course that effort and that time and their overall skill shows, because it is still such a good tattoo to this day, even though it's like 5 years old. Now the one on my back was a random walk-in. They were still learning. I didn't really know what their art practice was, and it's not as good. Like, it definitely needs some touch up. And then this one, on the new one that I got, although it was a walk-in, I was familiar with the artist and I knew they could do some very fine line work. So I wasn't super nervous about that. I did know that I picked a good artist for the technical skills. And the idea I had had for a while, so I knew I would probably like it once it was put on my body. Pain-wise, tattoos really don't hurt. It is probably the least pain I've felt for anything. Quite frankly, feels like a cat scratch, if you know what that feels like. So like, yeah, there's gonna be some pain behind it, of course, but with a cat scratch, it just stings. It's not like going super deep into your skin. Now my 5-hour tattoo, that one hurt a little bit more, because once you're on hour 4 and they are tattooing over the same place for the 5th time, you're like, please God, can we take a break? That might hurt. But if you're getting a simple tattoo in a pretty simple area, it's going to go by quick. There's not going to be a lot of pain involved. The days afterward, not super painful. I can barely feel any of my brand new tattoo that I got 2 days ago. As long as you take care of it, keep it moisturized, you're good to go. She told me to wash my tattoo 3 times a day. That seemed insane to me. I was like, I feel like that's too much. Like, that's too much washing. My tattoo is going to get more infected if I wash it a bunch. So I really haven't been doing all that. I wash it a couple times a day, and then I just make sure it's really moisturized so the skin doesn't dry out or get too sensitive. And so far, so good. So I say if you have any ideas or some things that have stuck with you that you really want to get tattooed and you've been thinking about for a while, you have an artist in mind and you have the money saved up, because they are expensive and you do need to tip your artist, then go for it. You're going to love it. You're going to have a good time. Even like my bad tattoos, I really don't regret them, because they're like a funny story or a time in my life that I can look back on and appreciate and understand and, remember the person that I was when I got them or gave them to myself. So go for it. I know some people don't like commitment, and maybe tattoos aren't your thing, and that's okay. Maybe a piercing, something that can heal and go away, is more your speed. But yeah, I say if it's something that you want to do, life's too short, have some fun. Growing up, my parents were very anti-tattoo. Very like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you get a tattoo? And then they started getting them, and they're like, oh, I want like 5 now. And I'm like, what switched in your brain? I think they just realized that life really isn't too as serious as they were taking it, and they can have some fun, and like, who cares if you have a tattoo? So, lesson learned. Now I have a couple. Should we smoke? We're like halfway through. I think why not? Let's light up. Ugh. Fantastic. Happy Tuesday, you guys. This has been a fun episode so far. Don't worry, we're not ending it. I know you're checking the time right now. Like, girl, we're 30 minutes in. I hear you. I've been thinking, I don't know. I know I put the video episode up on Spotify. Because you can't post video episodes on like Apple. They don't have the technology yet. But I don't know if I'm going to continue posting them on Spotify and YouTube, or maybe just move fully to YouTube but still upload the audio on Spotify. I don't know how I'm feeling or what is best for you guys. So DM me, let me know where you listen to this, and where you want to see video content, what's easiest for you, what's most ideal for you. I want to make sure it is just user friendly and that you guys are having a good time. That's literally all I care about. I don't care if it makes my life harder, as long as it makes your life easier. Anyways, you guys like my pink comfy tracksuit? This is listen, I couldn't bring myself to spend $140 on pants and then $140 on a top for a Frankie's bikini set. I just couldn't. That literally, I would rather rip my hair out. So I got the Addicted, EDIKTED. I don't fucking know. You guys know the company I'm talking about. I got their dupe, and honestly, not sponsored, but she is so comfy and cozy, and I live in this tracksuit, if I'm being honest. Pink vibes are everything today. Got my pink joint. Got my pink microphone. Got my pink tracksuit. Life is good. What can I say? Anyways. All right, let's keep going through some questions. Someone said, I just got an espresso machine. What are your favorite coffee recipes? I love my espresso machine. I've had 2 coffees this morning, and I spent $0. Actually, I mean, I had to buy all the supplies. It probably cost me 25 cents per coffee, if that. First of all, you guys know I'm an oat milk girl. Aldi, I don't know if you have Aldi where you live. I don't really know if that's a chain, but Aldi has the best oat milk. I feel like a lot of oat milks are pretty oily. Like, I drink them and I'm like, why is there like oil on my teeth? What the fuck? This is weird. Like, weird texture. Hate it. Aldi oat milk, best oat milk. No added oils, no added sugars. It's like perfect. It's as close to like homemade oat milk that you can get. I genuinely believe. So first, make sure you have a quality milk, whatever it is. And my coffees are really simple. All I do is I put my espresso, okay, a little shot of espresso. I do a little honey, a little brown sugar, ice, oat milk. I put it in a mason jar so I can shake it, and then it's like a shaken oat milk, brown sugar, oat milk, espresso. Fuck you, Starbucks. Anyways, that's literally my go-to. But you can make anything with an espresso machine, especially if your espresso machine has a steamer, like a milk steamer attached to it. Then you can make hot lattes, you can make iced lattes, you can make hot matchas if you buy the matcha powder separately. You can mix matcha with your espresso. Okay, a little swamp water. Fantastic. Life is good. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Hi, Hannah. I love your podcast so much, girl. So my question for this week, so I love art. I love to do art, but bitch, I am experiencing a major block in all my artistic abilities, and I don't know what to do because I have been trying to create so much, but nothing that I'm producing it's just not what I feel like is my best. Or not my best, but you know what I mean? Anyways, any advice that you have would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. I love you so much.
Illy Queen, artist block. Best way to break your artist block is to create bad art. You are stuck in like a perfectionist mindset. You're creating art, but it's not good enough. It's not where you want it to be, and that's okay, because 90% of the art you create is not going to be what you are envisioning in your head. The 10th time you do the same thing, that's when you finally create that piece of art that's thought out, that's exactly how you want it. But the first time is rarely ever the most perfect one. So I know you have a sketchbook, I know you have some markers. Get in there, create bad art. I'm talking just doodle, draw. It doesn't have to be perfect. Every sketch page book doesn't have to look like a Picasso drawing, like a beautiful piece of art. No, draw random things, mess up, scratch things out, get used to creating bad art. Once you're used to creating bad art, you will be able to create some fantastic stuff. But you really have to break that perfectionist mindset. And I think the fastest way to break it is to just do a lot of bad art really quickly. I've been challenging myself to kind of break open my sketchbook and do like 1 page a day, to get into the practice of just habitually doing it. And the best way for me to get comfortable with habitually doing it is to understand that every day is not going to be a perfect day. Every day is not going to be a great day. But you do something 100 times, you're going to have more of a chance of having maybe 10 good outcomes or 5 good outcomes, instead of doing it once and having the chances be lower for having a good outcome. Get out there, create bad art. Also, kind of, there's no such thing as bad art. It's a learning process. But the biggest thing I learned in art school was art is a process, and rarely, if ever, is that first time you do something going to be the perfect piece. In fact, the 10th or the 100th time you do that piece of art that you're trying to create from your head, that's when you get it perfectly. And that's when the best art is created, when it's well thought out, well executioned, and practiced a lot. Practice a lot. Make bad art. Bring bad art back. Period. Someone said, so bad at going to bed at a decent hour and getting up before noon. Tips? I've really been trying to get up earlier this past week. I have a bad habit of sleeping till like 11, and then I'm like, okay, the sun goes down at 5. You're waking up at 11. You were only getting 6 hours of sunlight. Not to mention half the time it's cloudy out. Your mental health is declining. Let's get up earlier so your life is better. And I have been. I've been setting my alarm for like 8:45, and I have a hard time turning off an alarm and immediately getting back up. So I do hit snooze, but I only hit snooze once, so then I get a little extra annoyed. I let myself close my eyes, chill for a bit, and then I hear it again. And after I hear that second alarm, I'm like, okay, get the fuck up. We got shit to do. We gotta get up. So setting an alarm, I know. Alarms are annoying. They're really not fun to wake up to, but the more you do it, the easier your brain will be conditioned to waking up earlier. And then going to bed early is also really hard for me, very hard for me. But recently, my little like edible before bed has been putting me in the perfect mindset to just like pass out. Okay, you really want to slow your brain down and put yourself into the mindset of okay, we gotta go to bed, I'm ready to pass out, and it's only 9. Eat a little edible. Okay, nothing crazy. A little gummy, maybe a little CBD gummy. pazpacks.com/smokesesh, 10% off. I think they're still open. I think they still have some products, so go snatch that up while they are still shipping. But eat a little gummy. Put your phone down. Pick up a book. Read a book. Forces your brain to slow down. Edible will be kicking. You'll be extra comfy. Basically a part of your bed at this point. And then, yeah, just let it do its thing. I promise your brain will be slowed down to a point that you'll be able to shut your eyes and immediately pass right out. I'm the kind of person who has to fall asleep with the TV on. I don't know if you guys are like that. So turning on something that is more long form content, or something that I've seen before, something that my brain is already like recognized or understood, like something predictable, something that I've seen before, literally. It makes going to bed easier because I know my brain's not like being stimulated. My brain already knows what's happening, what is going to be the next experience on the next slide on the next TV show. So it's very easy to fall asleep at that point. But yeah, you really just have to stick to it. Keep waking up early. Keep setting that alarm. And you will build it into your routine. I pinky promise. Yesterday was hard for me. My alarm went off at 8:45, and I was like, I hate living. But then today it went off, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. I woke up. I had my coffee. I did a workout. Who am I? What's going on? My frontal lobe is actually developing, and I'm like, oh, this is what life is. I can actually organize my life and achieve things. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? If you're under 25 and you feel like really chaotic and you don't know what's going on, it's okay. Neither does your brain. That's fine. It's a normal process in this life. Let yourself not know anything. Just do your best. That's literally all you can do. Someone said, I feel like I'm always sick. How do I boost my immune system during these cold months? Thank you, girl. Drink your water. Make sure you are eating healthy meals, okay? Make sure you're getting your veggies in. Make sure you're eating enough protein. Make sure you're eating enough carbs. Make sure you're eating enough. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, okay? 80-20. Make sure you're doing that. I don't know if you guys know what the 80-20 rule is. I've been really trying to stick to that, which is like 80% of the time you eat good, whatever you perceive good as, which is just for me like not going to McDonald's or like not eating tacos. And then 20% is just like literally whatever you want. And sticking to that, I feel like my body functions well, I function well, my brain functions well, staying hydrated. You can get up, you can get moving, your immune system has enough to work off of. And then when you do feel yourself getting sick, I love a ginger lemon tea. You know, make sure you're getting your vitamin C and your vitamin D, eating fresh fruit. I think clementines are in season right now, which is fantastic. And making sure you're getting enough rest. Those are the best things to really boost your immune system. 10 out of 10 recommend. But once again, if your body and your mind aren't taken care of, everything else is going to fall out of place. I'm telling you. Very important to prioritize. Sparkling water break. Cheers. LaCroix, sponsor me. I love you. People ask me a lot about my spiritual journey and like crystals, candles, spells. What do you do? How do you do it? And I think a lot of what people get confused about is there's literally no rules. There's no rules. Like, I mean, unless you practice a very specific type of like witchcraft or like voodoo or whatever it is, where, you know, practicing something that maybe your ancestors used to do, then maybe there are rules and maybe there are more formulated ways you can experience spirituality. But like, I was not raised with like my mom wasn't like very witchy. She wasn't like, here's some crystals and candles, let's do a spell together, let's celebrate the new moon. She was not like that. She was very much so like Methodist. So she is very much so Christian girly, and then I'm very much so spiritual girly. So I really had nothing to learn off of except for what my intuition told me. And I think a lot of people get spirituality mixed up and feel like they have to follow these rules or follow these specific things or have these specific things, when in reality spirituality is just what you make of it. I encourage anybody who wants to get into spirituality to simply walk into your local metaphysical shop, your local crystal shop, your local whatever it may be, and start picking up things and touching things and looking at things and asking questions, and simply just follow what your intuition wants to follow and what your intuition leans towards. I think you can really discover some fun things about yourself, some fun new practices, some fun things that maybe you never would have thought of before. I also think if you have no idea where to start, to go to some I don't know what to call them, just like spiritual meetings. I guarantee there is some witchy person in your city who is hosting like full moon rituals, new moon rituals, tarot readings, astrology readings, one-on-one meetings, whatever it is. In Kansas City, my favorite is Sacred Psyche. She's amazing. She hosts just like events for people to really get in touch with themselves, in touch with what's going on around them. And you know, the whole astrology, crystal, spiritual aspect of things, and really teaches them the meaning behind things. And if you're new to things, that sort of environment can be really, really helpful. And also, just being an observer can be helpful. But also, if you're somebody who maybe doesn't like doing that stuff, simply just going to your local shop and exploring and purchasing things that call to you is a form of practicing spirituality, and leaning towards things that call to you is the practice of spirituality in whatever form it may be. If you don't know where to start, I think the first thing that anybody can do is simply build themselves an altar. Go to an event, you know, observe, see what they do, see what their altar looks like. But having an altar in your home, or having a space where you can really cultivate that energy, have a dedicated space for those things that you like to infuse in your practice, such as candles, crystals, incense, whatever it is. But building an altar and building a space where it's a comfortable place for you to go and for you to meditate, I think is the perfect first step to really diving into spirituality and diving into what spirituality might mean to you. So 10 out of 10 recommend. I've had my altars look like just tiny little tables that I put all my stuff out on, arrange all my stuff. I've had my altars be like my windowsill on my last apartment. The Patreon girlies know my whole windowsill was my altar. And then here it is my vanity. I use my vanity as my altar space. So any sort of like writings that I do, or like meditation that I do, that's the space I do it at. Tarot readings, energy cleansings, anything like that, that is usually the space I go to. So having a dedicated space and having it built as the first thing you do, great way to practice. 10 out of 10 recommend. Also, simply just learning from your peers. See if there's any full moon circles near you and go participate and have some fun. Cheers. Someone said, how do I call out of work without having an anxiety attack? LOL. I remember when like calling out of work used to be the scariest thing I do. Now I'm just like, girl, I ain't gonna be there. And I know you're not gonna fire me, so I'm just letting you know I'm not gonna be there. And she's like, okay, cool. Luckily in the restaurant industry, as long as somebody is there to cover your shift, or you can find someone to cover your shift, which you usually always can, you're good to go. But yeah, what are they gonna do? Fire you for calling out? Be honest. Don't make up crazy shit, because they're probably gonna understand that it's fake, and then they're gonna think, you know, they're not gonna be more willing to give you time off in the future. Just be real with them. I'm sick. I'm having a bad mental health day. I need to, you know, I need to go see my therapist, girl. Or, you know, I just can't come in. Sometimes you don't have to have an excuse. Sometimes you just simply can't be there. And quite frankly, what are they going to do about it? Fire you? No, they're not. It's okay to call in. It's okay to have a mental health day. I promise. Don't be scared. Send that text. Turn your phone on Do Not Disturb. Have a good day. Love you. Someone said, I just started a position at work, hella big girl job, and I feel like I can't handle it. I'm faking it. Girl, so is everybody else. Everybody else around you, even like the CEO or anybody who is higher up, where you're like, oh my God, they have it all figured out. They're just doing their best, and I'm just not one of them. You are one of them, because guess what? They're faking it too. They're putting on a smile, and they're pretending like they know what the fuck's going on. But when they're alone in their office, they have no clue what's going on. Everybody else is just trying to figure it out as well. That's what having a job is. So you deserve the big girl job. You deserve the big girl pay. Fake it till you make it. Work your hardest. Ask for help if you need it. But understand you are not the only person in your office who is going through this. I promise you. Someone said, what are your favorite low maintenance plants? Needs some plant babies. These boys right here. These guys around me, these are the best. Pothos, you literally can't kill them, if I'm being honest. Actually, I have. But you literally can't kill them, and then if you do kill them, they will basically be reborn. So with these plants, They grow like crazy, first of all. They tell you when they need water. They'll start getting like droopy and like dried out like a raisin. When you see that, throw some water in there. They'll be good. They'll pop right back up. And also when you have one plant, you have millions, because when you chop off a little leaf of these guys, there's a node on it. You'll see like a little knot, like a knob. Those knobs will become roots if you put them in water. So half my plants are just propagations that I've cut off of other plants. Put them in some water, let them grow some roots, put them in a new pot. Boom. All of a sudden you have 9 plants around you, and they're easy to take care of. Low light, pretty simple. Make sure there's a window in the room at least, and they'll be good. Water them whenever they tell you they need water. Life is good. They'll be happy. You'll be happy. And you'll have like a million plants. Fantastic. Another really good low maintenance plant is a Swiss cheese monstera. My mom gifted me a Swiss cheese monstera for my birthday this year, and it grows like crazy. It literally is trying to grow out of my house and up my walls. It tells you when it needs water because the leaves will get a little brown. I try and water it at least once a week. And it is very easy to propagate as well. And it's cute. You know, it looks difficult without actually being difficult, which I think is the best kind of plant to have. Someone asked tea break advice for someone who's never taken one in 4 years. I've done multiple tea breaks, either intentionally or not intentionally. Either like I have a bad high and I'm like, I'm just not going to smoke for a year, or I'm like, my memory's shot, I need to take some time off. Or tea break in a different sense, dry January, I'm like, I should probably cut back on my drinking, let's challenge myself, let's do a month off. Any sort of, I'm just going to take a break for something, or I'm going to lower my usage for my health for any sort of substance, you have to stop thinking of it as, I'm trying to take a break from that thing, and reframe your brain to, I'm trying to break the habit. Because at this point, it's become like a ritual in your life. It's become a habit in your life. There's a certain time of the day you smoke. You know, you usually do it at night, or like maybe there's a certain time of the day you drink, or a social event, you feel the urge to do so. And you're trying to break that brain connection that gives you the urge to do so. And that simply comes with time and time off. So stop thinking of it as like, I'm removing this thing from my life, because then you feel like you've lost something. Then you feel more of an urge to bring it back, or it could be easier if you bring it back into your life. And reframe your brain as like, I need to, you know, reframe the way my brain connects with this, and to reframe the way my urges are for this certain substance. So really, it just takes time. Your brain's got to re-classically condition itself, go back to square one, and you just have to work through those urges a little bit. Supplementing with sometimes a different thing can be nice. For me, it's like the THC infused, once again, not an alcohol, spirit. That'll be a nice supplement. So if I do want like a fun little cocktail that's going to give me somewhat of a little buzz, I can have that without actually having the alcohol. NA, there's a bunch of really nice, amazing NA beverages, such as like the Gia or whatever. Or like you could even have like a poppy and consider it like a fun, bubbly drink for you to have at a social environment. Or, you know, with weed, you can do CBD instead. You can do a non-psychoactive flower where you're still indulging in the ritual and kind of taking that pressure off your brain a little bit, but not indulging in the behavior that you are trying to really subside. So you can do it. I believe in you. Time. You really just need time, and you need to stay strong, and you need to stick beside yourself. But anybody can do it. And yeah, 9 days in, weed would be way harder for me to quit than alcohol. Luckily, my relationship with weed is pretty good right now. But yeah, I'm 9 days in, no alcohol. And I have found that it's not the alcohol that I'm craving, but it is the, that instant gratification of giving my brain what it wants. You have to break that instant gratification. You got to retrain your brain to not crave it so much, or to not ritualize it so much, to not expect it. So it takes time. You can do it. I believe in you. Do what's good for you. You know what that is.
Hey Hannah, from the Netherlands, calling in right now. I love your podcast so much. You're so insightful. I love it so much. Anyways, so I recently broke up with my boyfriend, and I really just want to take this next year to focus on myself and figure out what are my hobbies, what are things that I like to do, and just in general being more content with being single. So by myself.
Okay.
I have borderline personality disorder, so I really feel the need to go after validation from others. But I'm really trying to protect my peace this year, and I was hoping that you would have some tips for protecting your peace and keeping the negative energy away, but also making sure that the only people that can enter your life romantically are the right people. Thank you so much.
Okay. Great question. First of all, congratulations. Hope you are happy and healthy and living your best life right now, man free. But you sound smart and intelligent, and it sounds like you are very aware of, your thought processes and the situations you end up in, and you don't want to end back up there. You really want to protect your peace. So I say just stay strong, set goals for yourself, really just take this time to do everything for you. There's no such thing as being selfish during this time. If you're trying to enter a time of really focusing on you, the goal is to be a little selfish. It's okay to say no or yes to whatever you want to do. It's okay to try new things, to explore new things. It's okay to, meet people and then realize maybe they're not the right person for you. There's no need to appease other people. No need to do that during this time. Just have fun and follow your intuition, follow what you want to do, make the best out of this life. You know what I mean? We only get a short amount of time here on this earth, so we might as well do whatever the fuck we want and have a good fucking time doing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, don't get into a relationship. I say really take this time, this next year you said, to focus on what is most important to you, to creating the perfect daily routine, to really getting comfortable being alone, comfortable with yourself. Once you set your standards high for yourself, you will also set your standards high for other people, and you won't in turn settle for the wrong person. Okay, make sure they check all those boxes. Someone said how to be more carefree. Illy. There's this meme I'm thinking of right now. What'd it say? Oh, it says, you found it cringe. I found it fun. That's why I'm happier than you. Literally. Life is serious. There are serious moments, but most of the time it's just we're here to have a fun, silly little time. And that's literally all it is. So stop taking things so seriously. Stop taking things so personally. Please, I'm begging you. If you take everything personally, you're going to be a miserable person. Sometimes it's really not about you, and that's okay. In fact, it should be more of a freeing feeling knowing it's simply not about you and it's not that deep. But yeah, I think you really just have to stop taking things so seriously all the time. Have a little laugh. Be a little silly. Be as carefree as you possibly can. And if you are having a hard time being carefree, I challenge you to be a little cringe every once in a while. You know what I mean? Embarrass yourself a little bit so you can practice going over that mindset of, oh my God, did I embarrass myself? No, girl, who gives a fuck? No one's thinking about you except you, so stop thinking about yourself. That kind of mentality. Someone said, hey girl, I can't stop going nonverbal while smoking. Help. Love you. I love entering that space where I'm the only person in the area that's not talking. I'm just in my own world vibing, and that's okay. I love those people. When I'm at a session, it's just that one person is there doing their own thing, and I know they're just living in their head. It's I know they don't want to talk to me because it's hard to talk for them right now, and that's valid and that's okay, and I hope you enjoy your time. Love you. It's okay. Sometimes it happens, and if you're with the right people, they'll understand and just like send you a cute little wink kiss and hope that you're having a good time. If they ask you if you're okay, don't let it freak you out. Just be like, yeah, girl, I'm just in my own world. They'll understand. I pinky promise. But if you maybe that just means when you smoke, you're more so of a internal person. Of course, weed's gonna make you look inward a little bit more. So if you do have a habit of going nonverbal, it's okay. You're loved and understood. Oh, my camera died. So sad about that. Had to charge it a little bit. Did a little break. Ate a little bit of food. Was pretty yummy. Made myself some lunch. My go-to lunch recently, I have like a hyperfixation lunch. If you're an ADD girl like me and you're always like, I'm looking for my lighter, panicking, where's my lighter? If you're an ADD girl like me and you have a hard time feeding yourself but also like have hyperfixations, find one meal that you can cook all week for lunch and just do that. Just make your life as easy as possible. And my lunch last week it was veggie curry with rice and then soft boiled eggs. This week it's shakshuka, I think I said that right, which is like a I think it's Middle Eastern, like veggie, almost like a red sauce with eggs in it, soft boiled, and then I ate it with some pita bread. So good, so yummy. If you're hungry, feed yourself. You deserve it. I know you guys have the munchies watching this right now, so cheers. Smoke a little bit, answer a few more questions, and then I have to edit this and upload it, which is going to take for fucking ever. So if you're watching this and you're like, girl, you uploaded it way too late, I'm sorry. All I'm doing is my best, and that's simply all I can do. Anyways, you ever light a joint and it's like just like a nubby little one, like it's the end, and you're afraid your eyelashes are gonna catch on fire, or perhaps your bangs? Not to freak you out, but I knew a girl in elementary school that happened to. She wasn't like smoking weed and lit her bangs on fire, obviously, but she went to go blow out a candle, blew the flame, the spark blew up and hit her bangs, and all of her bangs caught on fire. You guys see that smoke? Okay, so if you want to be able to like interpret like incense signs or weed smoke, which is what I'm using right now, not the joint being literally incense to me, the more still and the taller your smoke is, the better the energy is. Look at that. For the viewers or the listeners right now, it's like 5 inches tall, just straight up. Beautiful. Anyways, let me finish this joint. Get into all of your questions for the day. Let's get a little juicy. Someone said, what are some ways you found helpful to be okay with healthy weight gain? Understand and come to the understanding that you are not going to be in a teenage body forever. And that's just a part of how the human body works and develops and grows. And it's okay. You're going to gain weight. Your body's going to change. You're going to go through a second puberty in your 20s. Very normal, very real. If you can set it up for yourself by having a healthy mindset, and you will have a better outcome. And I think for myself, the biggest thing I did was just understanding the human growth and development process. And I am not an exemption to the rules. I am not going to have a teenage 90-pound fucking body for the rest of my life, nor do I want that, because that's not healthy. We want what's healthiest for ourselves. Understand it's a part of just growth and development. And if you are a person who's maybe experiencing some healthy weight gain, but you still want to feel like you are a part of your body, and if that makes you feel out of control, I really recommend moving your body in some sort of healthy way, whether it's going for a walk, a little daily Pilates, maybe just literally anything, stretching, yoga, practice it. I feel like physically moving your body helps you connect your brain to healthier ways to think about it. And I have also been the person who has over exercised, so it's a really fine balance for me between what is a healthy exercise and what's like over exerting myself in the name of like over exercising. And I have found that the best way for me to exercise is to simply move my body in a very simple way, whether it's a walk, whether it's yoga, whether it's stretching, whether it's Pilates, something simple but still challenging enough that I can feel my body doing some work. And I've really been enjoying it. I have been doing Pilates for like, I think a month now, which is not that long, but it's a really fun thing to incorporate into my daily routine, and I actually have started looking forward to it a lot. Some of you guys send me some wild shit, and honestly, I really appreciate it. Thank you for being just as crazy as I am, because when we can match energy, that's when magic happens, you know? Someone said, prepare. Okay. Put a finger in my BF's bum during missionary, and he immediately came. What do I do? I guess you do it again. I mean, you had good results. I don't think you should be concerned in any sort of way. It's not his fault that his G-spot was put there. But now you know he really enjoys it. I think the only thing you can take from that is do it again if you're comfortable. But that's probably the best outcome for that situation. Do you know what I mean? Okay, well, I guess we'll do some call-ins.
Anti-anxiety, antidepressants, mood stabilizers. But specifically, I was wondering if you could talk about like your experiences with antipsychotics and mood stabilizers to help with maybe, as I like to put, my crazy bitch outbursts. But yeah, thanks. Love you. Love the pod.
Yeah, so I was on mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, anti-anxiety, antidepressants, sleeping pills, waking up pills. I've been on everything. And I'm not on anything right now, but at that time, I felt like it was the best decision for me, especially if you are somebody who, let me put it this way. I feel like sometimes I give advice and I'm like, you have to retrain the way you think about things. And I think 80% of the population can do that. They're in a healthy mental state where they can understand their thoughts and their emotions, actualize them, work through them, and put in the effort to change the way they think about things. But there's also like 20% of the population who can't do that because their thoughts are over consuming or over controlling, or they just do not have that access to that part of their brain. And I have been there before, and I understand that when you're there and you feel like your thoughts or your feelings or your emotions are like overtaking or controlling you in a sense where you feel like you're at whim to them, that is the moment where I think asking for extra help is going to be a very beneficial thing. And I was in that place. I needed some help. I need some extra help. I felt like my thoughts and my moods and my emotions were controlling me rather than me being able to work with them. And I needed the extra help, and being on those medications was extremely beneficial and very helpful to me. Luckily, I was able to also get to a place where through therapy and through medication and through psychiatric work and just a lot of DBT training, which was understanding my thoughts and behaviors and those patterns and working with myself along with a professional, I was able to get to a place where I got off of them. And I feel like I'm at a pretty healthy place. But I do think if you are the kind of person who hears my advice and you're like, yeah, bitch, easier said than fucking done. Like, I just can't control my emotions like that. That's when I think some extra help, whether it's therapy, whether it's seeing a psychiatrist, getting on some medication, doing DBT, group therapy, that is when that can be extremely beneficial. And I had a fantastic time with my antidepressants, mood stabilizers. I feel like they were just what I needed in that time, especially somebody who felt such an out-of-body experience, feeling like I was not like a part of my body because my body and my brain were separated. Having that help was put me in a spot where I was able to get back on the right track and help myself and get back in control of my life a little bit, which was really, really nice. So if you're a little nervous, don't be. Ask your psychiatrist as many questions as you can. I would ask them what are the most common side effects they see when people start these. What are some things you should look out for? So if there's new, just like emotional trains of thought or experiences, they are a little more normalized and not as out there as if you were just randomly experiencing them. If you know what to look for, it makes them a little less surprising. And it can look like anything depending on the medication you're on. For me, it was like I couldn't sleep. I had a really hard time going to bed. That's thus the sleeping medication. I had really bad dry mouth, and that's it. But I understand there's some more serious, side effects. Sometimes the thoughts get worse. Sometimes they do the opposite effect. Medication can be silly like that. Not everybody's body is going to react the same, especially when you're taking medication for your brain. So be patient with yourself. Work closely with your psychiatrist and your therapist. I also recommend journaling so you can really keep track of those thoughts and where you're at, and journal based on mood so you are able to healthily exert those feelings into a place that is not damaging to anybody or yourself. And yeah, I think sometimes, in this life you need a little extra help, and I don't know why people are so afraid to ask for it. Do what you gotta do. I think it should be a good experience for you, though. I'm very thankful for the medication I was on and the therapist that I worked with to be able to get to this point. So,
Hannah, I'm wondering what you think about guys in relationships telling girls that they are not allowed to start an OnlyFans, and what you think about this, what that says about the relationship dynamic, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Just let me know what you think. Thank you.
Okay, here's the thing. Everybody in relationships is going to have different boundaries, and those are going to look like very different things. And sometimes boundaries can get misconstrued as controlling. Being in a controlling relationship looks like them needing to know every single detail, every single second of your life, trying to control where you go, trying to control the way you dress, trying to control the way you speak, the people you hang out with, isolating you. Those are abusive, controlling relationships. But then there's a difference between that and maybe morals within personal relationships, and morals can differentiate between person and differentiate between relationship. So in this specific situation, the whole like OnlyFans during relationship, if it's not something he came into the relationship expecting, I understand how this could throw him off. But straight up, if that's something that he's not okay with you doing, I don't think it should control you in any sort of way, but maybe that means that's not the relationship for him or you. Yeah, I think you should always do what you want. And sometimes I think, morals differentiate between relationships, but you have to respect his boundaries, and you also have to question whether or not this is the best thing for you in your relationship. And if you think it is the best thing for you, go ahead, but understand maybe the relationship's not going to last. And if you want the relationship to last, but maybe you can't do the thing, then, maybe you don't do the thing. It's really up to what is more important to you, quite frankly. But I don't think that's him being overly controlling, especially if you didn't do OnlyFans before the relationship. If you were doing OnlyFans before the relationship and then he was like, no, you have to stop, that's weird. You knew who I was when you met me, you bitch, quite frankly, But if it's something you're starting during the relationship, I understand how he's like, maybe this relationship isn't for me. Valid. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of the podcast, you guys. I had a fantastic time hanging out with you on this beautiful little snowy Tuesday. I'm loving the video episodes and getting to just like chill with you guys every single week. Sorry if this comes out a little later today. I apologize. I gotta get into editing mode after this. Probably gonna smoke a bowl, jump into editing, make another coffee probably. God, I need my brain to be moving as fast as it possibly can so I can get this out to you guys as soon as possible. As you guys know, you can follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene to see what I'm up to, what I am getting done throughout the day, throughout the week, see some fun things. It's where I share all of my randomness, you know what I mean. Patreon for the girlies who want more content. I'm hoping to put a little vlog up on the Patreon on Thursday. I'm talking about the Capricorn new moon tomorrow, and I always do my Monday affirmations, journal prompts, random little things that are on my mind that I like sharing with you guys. Find it on the Patreon. Join, come support me, come hang out with the girls. We have a blast on there. And then if you want to watch the video episode, it is on Spotify or on YouTube. My YouTube handle I think is Sesh Shoddy. But you can also look up Hannah Marlene and it should come up as well. But I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I hope you had a blast. Stay warm out there. Stick by yourself. Stick to your goals. Okay? You can achieve anything. And I'll see you so soon. Mwah.